welcome to the chaotic kitchen. We're making chili verde and red chili today. This is smoked bacon and smoked ham hocks that are just kind of sweating, browning on medium heat. That's going to be the foundation for both the green and the red chili today. Making it up as we go along. This is a diced onion or two, white onions. These are some washed and rinsed, peeled and washed tomatillos, and they're going to be roasted. And there's some big giant pork shoulder that's going to go in the chili verde, and some 7-bone something or other chuck roasts that are going to be the red chili. So, and there's our lovely Monet backsplash that makes no sense at all. Alright, the bacon is done, but not crispy. You don't want it to be super crispy. But we want all that oil and stuff. Most people tell you to throw away the oil and drain it, but that's the flavor and the smokiness, so we're going to leave it in. I'm going to leave these ham hocks in the liquid to roast with the roasts. So I'm going to take this off the heat until I get the bacon out. I'm going to take the bacon out and leave the ham hocks in and sweat the onions and garlic in this oil, smoky flavored oil. We're also making waffles today, as you can tell, so kind of chaotic in here. These are the Costco garlics that you get, big giant peeled garlic. They save you lots of time, and to save you even more time, I put them in the freezer so you don't have to worry about them going bad, and you can just soak them in hot water in a cup just for a couple of minutes, and then you can just dice them up or whatever. That's the onions starting with the ham hocks in the bacon drippings. This is the dried New Mexico chilies that are soaking in hot water. This is 2 packets. I don't know if that's going to be too much. I usually use 1, or it's different every time, but you basically just soak them in hot water, and I just have this knife here to kind of weigh them down into the water a little bit. And there's the view out of our backyard. Alright, so this is the thawed garlic after about 3 or 4 minutes in the hot water. Lately these Christopher Ranch ones have come with these little stems on them, which is kind of annoying. So you kind of have to break those off. And just going to throw them in here with these tomatillos. Not the stems, the garlics. And then pour on a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and kind of toss them around. And then they're going to go in a preheated 450 or 500 degree oven under the broiler until they turn nice and roasty. So that's what we're going to do next. Alright, so I got the tomatillos started in the oven and broiler on convection broil if you have it. And I've got the grill started preheating so I can brown the roast and the chuck roast and the pork roast. And the onions are coming along swimmingly. They're just about looking ready, actually. Yeah. Alright, so now I'm going to remove half of this stuff, roughly, for the red chili. For the green chili, rather. And the roasts are going on the grill. It'll start to get smoky and burned and blackened, and flames will start shooting out of there, which will help with the smokiness. So I'm going to put some tomato juice, crushed tomatoes in there, using fire roasted crushed tomatoes today, and scrape up those bits off the bottom. Check on our tomatillos over here. They're starting to look a little bit brownish. Let them go a little bit longer on that side, and then we'll kind of flip them over if you want, or you can just let them get really black on one side. Doesn't really matter, but I think I'll flip them over. So I'll set the timer for maybe 3 more minutes. Alright, so I've added one of the large cans of the crushed tomatoes. I think that's all I'm going to use on this today. I don't want it to be tomatoey, soupy like spaghetti sauce or something. I was going to use two, but kind of make it up as you go along. So I'm kind of scraping the bottom and get the bond off of the bottom. And then I'm going to blend up the chilies, which are, I flipped them over once so the ones on top get down underneath. And they're starting to get a little bit soft. And they'll still be kind of leathery when they're soaked, but maybe I'll put some more hot water in there. It's kind of cooled off, but you want them to be. This one's kind of done, kind of limp, and you can see how it's sort of resembles a chili again. And you want them to all look like that, and then you just rip the tops off of them, and you can save the seeds or leave the seeds out if you like. I usually put them in because they're not really that hot once you get the tomato and the meat and everything in there. But so these will go for another few minutes, and then we'll tear them apart and blend them up, and then we'll add that to the tomato sauce at some point. Check on our tomatillos over here. Yeah. Oh, that was a good idea. Those are looking pretty good. I think I'll flip them over now. Timer clear. Alright, I think we're ready to flip this pork roast at least. I want it to get kind of blackened and smoky. This will sit on here for another good long while. This chuck roast, or some would call it a steak. When you get some good char on it, just get some good flavor going. The tomato base is kind of thinning out a little, thickening up a little bit, smoothed out when you heat it up. And I'm going to try some mole stuff in there today. I've never used this stuff before, but I couldn't find the dried chilies at first, so I was going to try to use this, and then I ended up being able to find the chilies, but I bought this for no reason then. So I'm going to try to throw a couple of spoonfuls of that in there, and some Mexican oregano, and some cumin, quite a bit of that, salt and pepper. This is good Redmond real salt, fresh ground black pepper, maybe some cinnamon or something, and lots of chili powder, and maybe some chili peppers or something. Here's the giant mess I just made with my mole, because the lid is ridiculously difficult to get off. It says, "Levante con la ayuda de un abrelatas," and I don't have an abrelatas, so I had to use some scissors or something. Repite la operación con los otros puntos. That means if you can't get the lid off, kill yourself after you dump mole juice all over your freaking kitchen. Quiet, you. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, those are looking good and steamy. That's after I flipped them over, so I'm going to take those out and we're going to blend those up. Alright, so this is the, you want your tomatillos and garlic to look something like this. You can see that there's lots of juice down in there, and you don't want to waste that. Don't drain them. Just put the whole thing in the blender. Or you can, if you want, you can throw that just in your pot with your meat or whatever, and it will sort of disintegrate, but I like to blend this stuff up. How are our waffles? Smoky smoke is going smoky. And giant, I haven't really, smells like dirt, so probably be okay. We'll try that just a little bit, see if that works. My wife thinking she's being cute. Playing jingle bells on her food processor while she's blending up her hippie food. So these are ready, I think. They're all pretty much soft, so. Alright, next.